For the first time in 3 years, Samsung is going down market with its Note line, releasing a budget alternative of the Note 3. This is Daniel from Phone Arena presenting you a preview of the Galaxy Note 3 Lite, also known as Neo. It scales down on specs, sporting a 5.5-inch 720p HD display instead of the 5.7 1080p one on the Note 3. It has a slower processor, 2GB of RAM instead of 3, and an 8-megapixel camera instead of the 13-megapixel shooter on the Note 3. On the other hand, this mid-range phablet is identical with the flagship in terms of design, software features, and the venerable S Pen stylus. It's absolutely the same one. We also get a large 3100 mAh battery that is just shy of the 3200 mAh unit in the Note 3, which bodes well for the perspective endurance. Let's check it out. The new Note is shorter and less wide than the Note 3, and it's actually almost as large as the 5-inch Sony Xperia Z1, as you can see. And this one here has a 5-inch display, while the new Note has a 5.5-inch screen. This makes it more pocket-friendly and easier to operate with one hand than the typical phablets of late, despite the hearty 5.5-inch screen. Granted, the top left or right quadrant of the panel would still be forbidden for your thumb, but at least you're able to reach the context menu or the home keys without the immediate risk of dropping the new Note 3. Just like the flagship, the outer appearance of this mid-ranger is done in the new Samsung stylistic of metal imitating side rim and a removable back cover that resembles notebook leather with the stitching accents on the side and all. Removable back cover means you can easily swap the battery or add more storage in the best of Samsung's traditions. This battery here is 3100 mAh, just shy of the 3200 on the Note 3, so with a lower resolution screen, that means we might have even a longer battery life, but we'll wait for the final retail version and our battery test to confirm that. The S Pen stylus is tucked the same way you'll find it on the Note 3, with the same apps. It's here in the lower right corner and it's side agnostic, doesn't matter which side you pop it back in. Overall, the handsets look, scream, hey, I'm a Note, I'm just smaller. The new Note sports a 5.5-inch display which has 720 by 1280 pixels of resolution that result in 267 ppi pixel density. The panel is also the biggest difference when you compare it to the 5.7-inch 1080p screen of the flagship that flaunts a nearly 400 ppi pixel count. The HD resolution here means that detail won't be as defined and doodling won't look as precise as on the 1080p display of the Note 3. For everyday purposes, however, the pixel density of the new Note here is perfectly adequate. Its panel is still of the Super AMOLED variety, so it will offer you oversaturated, somewhat cold colors, deep blacks, and pretty excellent viewing angles. Our prototype version of the Galaxy Note 3 Budget Edition is loaded with Samsung's TouchWiz Nature UX on top of Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. We hope the retail will be KitKat or it will be updated shortly thereafter. With Nature UX, however, the most apparent visual differences that KitKat brings, like this transparent status bar here and the full screen wallpaper, are present stock, so there's actually not much need of a surface difference at first look. You can expect all the bells and whistles that come with Samsung's homemade interface overlay, like Smart Stay, which keeps the screen on while we're looking at it. Also the multi-window mode that can run 2 apps at once. You can open the gallery, you can open your messages at the same time. You can have any 2 apps here and resize them at your wish, which helps multitasking. Multitasking is also helped tremendously by the S Pen stylus. It introduces this air view, air gestures mode. You can hover with your stylus or finger above the display, mark and pop up info without even touching the screen. And of course you have the excellent doodling abilities that come with the stylus here. As you can see, it's not bad, this doodling on the HD display. It has enough definition and precision, even though we don't have a full HD screen. We got a new kit on the Exynos block, and it is the hexa-core processor found in the Note 3 Lite. 6 cores, 2 ARM Cortex-A15 clocked at 1.7 and 4 clocked at 1.3. Still, the Hexa-Core Exynos here is clocked much slower than the 2.3 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 800 in the Note 3, for example. So the difference in benchmarks will be significant. Same goes for the graphics processor, which is likely to be faster than Mali 400 in the Note 2, but weaker than the one in the Note 3. Samsung has put 2 GB of RAM in this Note here, and 16 GB of internal memory, which are expandable via microSD slot. Samsung's TouchWiz browser looks a bit dated with this squarish interface elements, but it's proven to be one of the fastest renderers, plus it sports Adobe Flash support right out of the box. And this here new Note offers plenty of connectivity radios such as Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi Direct. It has Bluetooth 4.0, assisted GPS, DLNA, and FM radio. The gallery on the handset offers a split screen view with your folders on the left and the content on the right. You can edit the pictures, they're rich editing options. You can also use the stylus for annotating and drawing right here. The music player is also a bit squarish looking and dated, but it supports all the basics and also has a bunch of equalizer presets and sound modes to choose from. Of course, it's not the final software. We might have more options when the retail version of this mid-range phablet hits the shelves. As far as video goes, as usual, we have excellent support. This is a 1080p MKV file, which plays without a hitch on the budget Note. And we'd wager to say the same will happen when the retail version is here. As far as the camera interface goes, we can expect the same excellent camera up as on all Samsung's handsets of late. See how quick it focuses. We have the carousel mode. You can use panorama, HDR modes, plenty of others as well. And the 8 megapixel camera with LED flash made very good pictures even with this prototype version, so we're pretty optimistic for the final retail one. The handset also can shoot 1080p video with 30 frames per second, and that differs from the Note 3, which can shoot 4K video. The smaller Note 3 seems destined for a commercial success, as it will appeal to folks who are drooling after the Note 3 but think it is either too expensive or too big to be carried around comfortably. Samsung said that this year it will expand the big screen phones and tablets portfolio, and this here device seems to be the first on the tablet diversification quest. The budget model doesn't ask for much sacrifice when compared to the flagship Note 3 phablet. It will also be a great alternative to the 2012 Note 2, as it is more compact despite sporting the same screen size, has a faster processor and the new generation of the S Pen stylus. The fact that Samsung is bringing the full stylus functionality in a mid-range phablet can only benefit us consumers, and we can't wait to land the final retail version to gauge whether the value for money proposition is as good as it seems from this preview. This was a review of prototype version of the Galaxy Note 3 Lite, also known as Neo, from Phone Arena. For more information about this and other phablets, you can visit us at phonearena.com. Thanks for watching.